Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra-parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda-yogindra-matasya Sishyam Shri Shankaracharya-matasya Padma-padam Sahastamalatam cha Sishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakaramanyānasmadgurūn Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purāṇānāmalayam Karuణālayam Namāmi Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Viparam Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. We are 395 finished. 396. Samadhi Avastha, what exactly is to be done as a practice of Samadhi that is being discussed. So it's a far-fetched idea for all of us. So many other things to do before we get into this. But obviously, these are all things which we need to at least know. But in case suddenly we get into Samadhi, we should know what to do at that point. So, Jaki Jalamaya Koshe Ahandiyotapitasham
Jaimalamaya koshe navamdiyotthapitasham
Prasavamanila Kalpe Linga Kehe Linga Dehe Linga Dehe, right? Linga Dehe Vipaschat
Prasavamanilakalpe lingadehe vipascha
Nikamagati Kirtim Nityamanandamurtim
Nigamagaditakirtim nityamanandamurtim
Swayamiti Parichiya Brahma Rupena Tishta
Swayamiti parichiya brahmarupena tishta
Jahimalamaya Koshe Ahandiyotapitasham Prasavamanila Kalpe Linga Dehe Vipaschat Nikamagajita Kirtim Nityamanandamurtim Swayamiti Parichiya Brahma Rupena Tishta. After some kind of trying all the various chandas, I found this the closest possible way of the chandas. Malamaya Koshe Ahandiyota Ahyondiyota tapita uttapita asham jahi. Jahi, give up. What? Ahandiya uttapita asham. Asham, all the desires caused by ahandi. Identification that this is me. In what? Malamaya koshe. Sharire. In the stula sharira, we should not have ahandi because that is what causing all the ashas. Ahandi uttabita asham. Jahi. Give up the all the various desires and inclinations and sensory demands connected to ahandi associated with or identified with malamaya. This body is malam only. Malam means what? Dirt. How much ever you clean it, within no time it becomes dirt. Because what it eats is only dirt. What we eat is also dirt, and what it becomes also dirt. See, once we eat the food, afterwards, beyond it goes through the throat. Would you like to take it back and eat again? So, malamaya kosha, that is this body, it is filled with filth. Malamaya koshe aham diya utthapita asham jahi. Give up. Prasabam jahi. Very well you give up. Not, have a note to second consideration about that. Then afterward, paschat, later only, linge dehe api. Anila kalpe linge dehe api. Anila means air, invisible, but it is there. Anila kalpe means anila sadrshe, linga sharire. Linga sharira, because linga means a sign. Our body is always mala for everyone only. What makes us different from each other? What is our linga? Linga is what makes you individually distinct from another person. This is our thought and minds, thoughts and feelings and emotions. Those are the things which you consider as you, I, the individual, distinct from another person. Right? So that's why linga sharika. So here linga shari, linga dehe api anila kalpe, which is like invisible air. You cannot see it, but you know it is there. Physical body you see, what you don't see is your linga sharira or anybody else's linga sharira. So here linge api, linga dehe api ahantya utthapita asham jahi. It is understood. Again, in that, mind identified with the mind also, or subtle body also, whatever be the asha or hope and desires that are there, that also paschat jahi, later. Because if the physical body related things we cannot give up, mind is very difficult because it brings up new things even if it is not there in front of you. Right? At least in front of you, what is there as attractive sense or objects, you can give up. But mind creates its own desires. Even if there is no physical external object present. So that is why he said, once you master the gross body, as we see there's the hierarchy of things, Indriyani paranyakyu, Indriyabhya param manaha, manasutta parabuddhihi, buddhiratma mahan paraha, like that. In that, Tasmatvam indriyani ado niyamya baradarshava papmanam jahi. This external organs and the body, first of all, you start from there. desire starts from there, which is externally in what called influencing you through the bodily demands. So prasavam anilakalpe lingadehe api paschat. Then what do I do? This is where it is different from that of the uh, yoga marga, where there is, after giving up the identification with sthula and sukshma, then there is obviously the mind should be, or the attention should be on nigama gadita kirtim, vedokta veda kadita kirtim, vedena udiko gadita kirtim. That which is being glorified in the Vedas, what? Nityamananda Murtim. In that Lord, in that Supreme Self, which is Nitya Anand. It is always pleasant, always blissful, always joyful. Swayam iti parichiya. Understand that to be yourself. Whatever is being glorified in the Vedas as the Nitya Ananda Rupa is none other than my own self. Swayam iti parichiya. Parichiya, jnatva, realizing, drishtva, brahma rupena tishta. Then remain as Brahman. So in the seat of meditation, what should be done? Even preparation for that meditation or the samadhi here, first thing is externally give up that identification with the gross body, which causes a great amount of external engagement. As it's beautifully given in the Bhashya here, te putra mitradishu bahyeshu ham tam tyaktva deha matra atmatvena manvita. But to start with, identification with external being and objects, that first of all take care of. Then body, come to body. Tatah tatontaram pranameva iti paripattrunam saukaryaya upaditesha. Remember in the Taittiriya Upanishad, the student goes and says, firstly, Shariram, body is the Ananda. That's what he starts with. Annamayamanandam, Annamayameva Anand, Annamayameva Brahmaniti. And then he says, no, Annamayam is not the, go back and meditate. Prano Brahmeti Vyajanat, Pranatyeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante, Pranena Jatani Jivanti. Prane abhivisamshiti shamtiti. So he says, first of all, he says, Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat. First he thinks Annam. Annam here means the body. Annatyeva kalvimani bhutani jayante. All beings are living because of food as a physical body. Annena jatani jivanti. And they are born out of food, staying in the food, going back to the food only. Therefore, Annam Brahma. No, go back. Prano Brahmeti Vyajanat. No, go back. Mano Brahmeti Vyajanat. So here he says, Teneva Kramena Pradamam Dehartha Putradi Vishayeshu Asha Parityagaha Asha Eva Tyaktavya Iti Yada Tada Kim Vaktavyam Mahantaya Vishaye. So, want to talk about the identification of the ego with respect to things. Tadaha sthula sharire ahantaya ashayascha tyagaha. Sthula sharire, and then comes the sukshma sharire. Tadaha pranamaya manomaya vijnanamaya ghadite sukshma sharire panchakosha viveka prakaranokta yuktibihi. We have, why the Vedanta talk about the Panchakoshas? only to explain our present condition. That's called Adhyaropa and Apavar. Adhyasa is what happens unconsciously. Adhyaropa is consciously recognizing the layers of our personality only to subsequently negate them. When we were not studying Vedanta, we do not know that there are Panchakoshas. Right? Nobody taught us about Panchakosha. Why introduced, why if it is false, why Vedanta has to talk about it? Only to negate it. ये अन्नमय है आत्मा नहीं है, ये प्राणमय है आत्मा नहीं है, ये मनोमय ऐसा वाला है आत्मा वो नहीं है, ये विज्ञानमय कोश ये है, ये आत्मा नहीं है, आनंदमय कोश भी है बट वो आत्मा नहीं. So to point out how Atman is not this, how that Annamaya cannot be Brahman, Pranamaya cannot be Brahman, ityadi. So therefore, Tataha Panchakosha Viveka Prakarana Ukta Yuktivihi Ahandiyam Tat Prayojya Asham Cha Jahi Nashaya. All the various desires and inclinations, identifications arising out of identity, arising out of the Panchakoshas, मानभुवं हि भूयासं यदि परब्रह्मात्मनि सर्वस्यास्ति स्थूलादौ अहंदिय अयं प्रेम तत्र एव भवति इति आशा दुर्निरसा. When you have identification with anything, that becomes the point of our attention. अतः क्रमेण विचारेण जनित दृढ़ विवेक ज्ञानेन स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीरयोः अहंतायां त्यक्तायां, when the identification with the sthula and sukshma goes away, suddenly you will find Anandamaya Kosha has no content. प्रिय मोदादि अवयव उपेत आनंदमय कोशे स अवयवत्वात् औपाधिकत्वाच्च अनित्यत्व निश्चयेन अहंता नैव संभवति. Thereafter, when you are able to diligently eliminate identification while awake with the Sthula Deha, Sukshma Deha, and go on removing those desires arising out of identification, you realize that even the Anandamaya Kosha accumulated vasanas are also related to that only. When you diligently remove those things externally with that as a sadhana, what is otherwise so deeply rooted Anandamaya Kosha vasanas naturally will disappear, because there is no more identification with the, like in the case of a sleep also, when I have decided to quit the world and go to sleep, Anandamaya Kosha is not disturbing me anymore, it's just allowing me to sleep, right? It doesn't come on the way of my sleep. When do we really know what is there in the Anandamaya Kosha? Deep-rooted vasanas start to express, right? In sleep it doesn't. So Samadhi Avastha is not sleep. Samadhi Avastha is like the sleep, where consciously when you have given up your identification with Sthula and Sukshma Sharir, the Karana Sharir will have no effect of disturbing you. Therefore, that's what he says. Anityatva nischayena औपाधिकत्वात् सा अवयवत्वात् प्रिय मोद आदि अवयव उपेद आनंदमय कोश. Anandamaya Kosha consists of Priya, Moda, Pramod. What is Priyam? What I want to have, the thought about wanting to have. Moda is owning it. Pramoda is enjoying it. These three, when you remove with respect to objects of the world outside, that impression that are deep rooted in the Anandamaya Kosha slowly will also disappear, for you have not entertained those vasanas externally, they become weak. What we don't engage will become weaker and weaker over a period of time. We cannot directly get into Anandamaya Kosha at all, because it's not accessible to us. It is at the subconscious level. At the very deep level, it is rooted there, and we cannot see, as we know, if you look at a tree and it is well rooted in the what you call the ground, the only way to make the tree fall on its own is to cut the water to those roots. Roots are deep there. Make a trench around the tree. Make sure that you dig deep. You don't need to cut the tree. It will wither and die away. Why? Water is no more available there. Similarly, what is that which is watering our Anandamaya Kosha? Engaging in the desires prompted by those vasanas in the Sthula and Sukshma Dehi. When we keep cutting that, with not allowing them to anymore occupy our mind, slowly, there is no way these deep-rooted vasanas of Anandamaya Kosha will have any more strength to survive there. That is why Bhagavan said, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. The taste for that is still there, and the taste is there because ahamta is still present there. The objects may not, see, when you go to a place where things are not available, obviously you will not be able to experience them. Doesn't mean you have become vairagi. No, not available. Kya kar? Hmm. When it is not available, you have not become vairagi. No, vairagya is not because it's not available. Vairagya is because I don't want it, even if it is there. It's not there. See, I'm such a Mahatma, नहीं चाहिए मुझे. अरे नहीं है. When they are in front of you, then what will happen? So here, that is evam panchakoshan anatmatvena nischitya nigama gatita kirtim nigamaihi vedaihi katitaha kirtihi sarvajnatva sarvashaktatva sarvapranipana sarvaprani prana priyatritva sarva prashastritva. In this way, where that various adjectives are given, tam nityamananda murtim etena anandamaya kosha nirasatasya nityatva abhavat pramatmanam swayam iti swaswarupam iti parichaya. Upon the elimination of the overwhelming presence of Anandamaya Kosha alone in Samadhi, one comes to get the manifestation of one's own self clearly. Until then, the Anandamaya Kosha will not allow that. It is of the nature of tamas. Cover it, like in sleep. It will not allow you to reach anywhere near the presence of the Atman so long as there is an active covering of the Anandamaya Kosha. So therefore, Anandamaya Kosha nirasa tasya nityatva abhava, being that is not permanent, paramatmanam swayam vidhi swaswarupamiti parichya nischitya anubhuya brahmarupena tishta koshanam panchanam anatmatvena nishiddhatvat. Because having understood the panchakoshas are anatma. This is how this beautiful samadhi sthiti is obtained. Continuing here. another meter. Savakaram yavat
Shavakaram yavad
bhajati manujastavadashuchihi
bhajati manujasavadashuchihi
parebhyasyat klesho
parebhyasya klesho
janana marana vyadi nilayah
janana marana vyadhi nilayah
yadatmanam shuddham
yadatmanam shuddham
kalayati shivakaramachalam
kalayati shivakaram
tada tebhyo muktah
तदादेभ्यो मुक्तः
bhavati hi tadaha shrutirapi
भवति तदाह श्रुतिरपि
शवाकारं यावत् भजति मनुजः सावधशुचिः परेभ्यस्यात् क्लेशो जननमरणव्याधिनिलयः यदात्मानं शुद्धं कलयति शिवाकारमचलम् तदा तेभ्यो मुक्तः bhavati hi tadaha shrutirapi. Nice tune. That is. Long time back, you wrote what it should sound like in the bracket there. What is that? It's Chandas there. So, Savakaram yavat bhajati manujaha. Manujaha purushaha. So long as one is bhajati sevate, continues to serve, what is that? Savakaram, not Shivakaram. Savakaram, dead, filthy, subject to death of you. That's why Gurudev would say, when you are a sadhaka, you are a Shiva. Otherwise, you are only a Shava. Dead carcass you are. You know, that thing also, how Shiva is sitting there is unmoving. Right? It's totally still. It's like a thread there standing there. It's not a single movement. I really was so amazed by that. You know, I just couldn't take my eyes out of that. There is not a single movement. That shows that stillness. That is Shiva Akara. Shava Akaram yavat bhajati manujaha tavat ashuchihi. So long as one is serving and enjoying and experiencing only the Shavakar, thus far will be only impurity there. And parebhyaha kleshahasya. And all sort of external afflictions also. External afflictions you cannot stop. Janana, Marana, Vyadi, Nilaya. It is a very abode of birth, death, sickness. Earlier it is said Malamaya. This is here says is Kleshamaya. All afflictions. Parebhyaha from external, Anyebhyaha. From all other external sources, there are continuous afflictions that are coming. Kleshaha. That's why he said Kleshodikatarastesham Avyaktasakta Chetasam Avyakta Higatir Dukkam Dehavadbihi Avapyate. In 12th chapter. Klesha. Klesha means all different afflictions are unavoidable. So that is why it is said, Shava Akaram. Then, when does it end? This Nilaya of Janana, Marana, Vyadi, etc. In the other one, Nirayaha is given. Nirayaha, right? Nirayaha is written in the Bhashya portion. Niraya means hell. Niraya is hell. Here it is at least Nilaya. That is strong word is Janana Marana Vyadi Niraya. Nirayaha. That is it's only hell. And on the other hand, Ashuchihi, which is none other than Yavat Shavakaram Bhajati. So long as one is continuously serving only the abode of death. Yada atmanam shuddham kalayati. Once a person started to, why it is called Shavakara? Because it is Chaitanya Heenam Shavakara. That which is absent of, really, the absent of true life. It's only expressing, the life is expressing through the body. Body by itself is not alive. Which part of the body you think it's alive? You can cut the finger and it will be there. Nothing happens to it. It's dead. Every part of the body can be cut and kept outside. Because they are all by themselves have no ability to function. Even heart can be taken out from one person to another also. Right? The pumping heart. After when they take the pumping heart, then what happens? That is completely dead. Nothing is there. Even that, after some time, it's also gone. It is also, when the life is gone, that is also just, Gurudev used to say, even the most brilliant Einstein's brain is dead. You cannot do anything with that. You can have a showcase of that. I think they have kept, I think, right? Brain they have kept of Einstein somewhere. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Smithsonian?
Princeton is somewhere.
Huh?
Princeton.
Princeton. Here, in US. What can it do? Can it think anymore? Brain, all right. What is it? It's only dead. So here, even after taking a bath and applying powder and perfume to the body, it remains impure. As long as you identify with and doing its puja, is a bhajate means puja. Washing and powdering and dressing it, you too are impure. The scavenger you are. Gurudev is very strong here. A scavenger you are, as long as you carry this filth and polish this body bucket. Naturally, therefore, when you identify with that, you will suffer 1,000 clashes from others. And you suffer from yourself too. Objectively, you suffer because of the clashes with other objects, and subjectively, you suffer from the sequence of sorrows produced by birth, growth, disease, decay, and death. Shat vikaraha, kleshaha. So here, yada atmanam shuddham kalayati shivakaram achalam. When you start to understand yourself as not Shava, but Shiva. Shiva akaram achalam, unmoving presence within, which is Atman itself. Atmanam shuddham shivakaram achalam kalayati tada, then tebhyaha muktaha bhavati. Then only you are released. Idi Shruti tadaha. Even Shruti is talking about that only. So long as you identify with the body and serving it, you remain impure whatever you do. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Brata Paripalanam Atava Danam Japya Sam. And then what? What is the verse? Bhajagovindam. Complete. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Brata Paripalanam Atava Danam Jnana-vihinah sarvamadena bhajati na muktim janma shatena. Even 100 lives you take, without knowledge, there is nothing called mukti for you. Even if you take every day Ganga Snan. I'm living in Swamiji, I'm living in Kashi only. Every day Ganga Snan. Kuch hoga? Nahi, kuch nahi hoga. Nothing will happen. Every day I take Ganga Snan. Brother Paripalan, no, I am do fasting and feasting and all that you do. That doesn't by itself will release you from the bondage. Therefore, yata atmanam shuddham kalayati shivakaram achalam. Then only kleshebhyaha tada muktaha bhavati. Tadaha shruti ravi. Shruti also Tarati shokam atmavit anandam brahmano vidwan nabived kutaschana iti. These various ways Shruti also points out. All right. Now, what is that will happen upon waking up from samadhi? When one has identified with that highest reality, what will such a person's vision of the world be? That is said in the next few verses, how he doesn't anymore see any nana. Oh, you'll say nani then? No, no, no. Nana means manyness, variety. Mrityoho mrityum gacchati ya iha nana iva pashyati. When a person sees variety, he goes from death to death. Mrityoho mrityum sagacchati. So here, swatmanyaropita shesha
स्वात्मन्यारोपिताशेष
आभासवस्तु निरासः आभासवस्तु निरासतः
आभासवस्तु निरासतः
स्वयमेव परं ब्रह्म
स्वयमेव परं ब्रह्म
पूर्णमद्वयमक्रियम्
पूर्णमद्वयमक्रियम्
स्वात्मन्यारोपिताशेष आभासवस्तु निरासतः स्वयमेव परं ब्रह्म पूर्णमद्वयमक्रियम् स्व आत्मनि आरोपित अशेष आभास वस्तु निरासतः single compound there, single state. Nirasatah Panchami. Nirasat. By the nirasa or from that the removal of what? Avasa vastu. What is avasa vastu? Aropita ashesha abhasa. Abhasa means appearance. Abhasate. In some of the in Tamil language, abhasa means lusty. Right? Abhas. That movie is full of abhas. I don't know what we call it, right? In Tamil, that is abhasa means very lusty, passionate, kind of appearance. But here that is true. What is abhasa? What is projected on? It is not true there. So aropita, ashesha, all the various things which we have projected upon, what? Swatmani. In one's own self, aropita, projected, ashesha, entire, abhasa, appearances, vastu nirasatah, upon removal of that, swayameva param brahma, by itself the supreme reality, purnam advayam akriyam pashyati. Now, to see the rope, all that I need to do is remove the abhasa. What? Snake. Because the adhara, adhishtana is always there. I cannot create it. Rope is not created when the snake is removed. Rope is revealed. Rope is seen when the abhasa is removed. So abhasa nasha or adhyasa nasha, aropitasya nasha, adhishtanasya drishtihi. You don't need to do anything. As even you are able to remove the projection, there and then one comes to see that which is supporting it. Supporting it means that which is on which it is projected. Adhishtana darshanam. Adhishtanasya darshanam sambhavati. Oh, here, therefore, so swayameva, that's why it said swayameva, without any effort. I don't need to put an effort to become muktaha. There is no effort to become free. If you put effort to become free, then it is prayatna janitam. Is it not? Any effort to become free is depending upon the prayatna. And the prayatna stopped. That will also stop. That is why muktihi na karma sambhavati, karmana sambhavati, not by action. That's why in Ashtavakra Gita beautifully it is said, aprayatnat prayatnatva moodaha na apnoti nirvritim. A moodaha, a person who has not gained the knowledge, how much ever effort he puts, he won't get it. Not putting effort, you will not get it. Aprayatnat prayatnatva. Whether he puts an effort or puts no effort. Moodaha, a person who is deluded fool, na apnoti nirvritim. He will not get that. Tattva nischaya matrena. By clarity of right thinking, prajno bhavati nirvritaha. A person of knowledge get without any prayatna. Here the prayatna is what? Prayatna is only to remove the abhasa, remove the aropita. No prayatna is necessary to reveal what is already there. Removal of the cloud only you have to do. Sun is already there. Sun is always shining. You remove the cloud. That is your effort. So here also, Swayameva Param Brahma Purnam Advayam Akriyam Drishyate is seen. So this is, as the Bhashyakar says, what is the Nirasaha? How is the elimination to be done? He says very clearly, Shruti Yukti Vihi. By the Shruti Vakya, Vichara on Shruti Vakya, and adopting the Yukti procedure methodology of Viveka. Shruti Yukti Bihi Nirasataha. Removing through that Shruti and Yukti. That is what is important. That is the methodology given in our Vedanta. That is Shruti Yukti Bihi Nididhyasanena cha Vinashanataha. Swayameva Param Brahma Purnam Advayam Akriyam. So, Ado Prayatnena Drishyam Nirudhya Samadau Kriyamane Yattatra Nishtasya Purvam Pratitamapi Drishyam Shashabishanavat Vishanavat Pavati. As an introduction to the next verse, he says, Ado, in the beginning, Prayatnena Drishyam Samadho Nirudhya Samadho. In the beginning stages of your practice of samadhi, you are forcefully stopping all the various identifications that are there for many, many lives. Ado prayatnena drishyam nirudhya. Whatever is seen, whatever is perceived, nirudhya. Samadho kriyamane. When in the samadhi sthiti, when it is done, tatra nishtasya, when a person abides in that, purvam pratitam api, even what is seen before, drishyam, the world, shasha vishanavat bhavati, like the horns on a she rabbit. I think male rabbit also has no horns. Why? I don't know why it's जो पहले पहले दिखता था वो दिख होगा दिख है वो पहले दिखता था अभी नहीं दिखता है whatever is seen before will not be seen anymore. So therefore samahitayam sadichitta vrittau
Samahitayam sati chitta vrittau
paratmani brahmani nirvikalpe
paratmani brahmani nirvikalpe
न दृश्यते कश्चिदयं विकल्पः
न दृश्यते कश्चिदयं विकल्पः
प्रजल्पमात्र परिशिष्यते यतः
प्रजल्पमात्रः परिशिष्यते यतः
समाहितायां सति चित्तवृत्तौ परात्मनि ब्रह्मणि निर्विकल्पे न दृश्यते कश्चिदयं विकल्पः प्रजल्पमात्रः परिशिष्यते यतः समाहितायां चित्तवृत्तौ सति where samahita means here merging of chitta vrittau samahitayam. When all my thoughts are being completely merged, where paratmani brahmani nirvikalpe, in the unchanging ever present in the brahman, when the thoughts have started to merge in. Now it is very interesting, many of the vedantins come to this point very, very carefully. There is no stopping of the mind. Yoga Shastra, what would say? Chitta vritti nirodha. Right? Stop. Nirodha means stop. Nirud. Nirud. Ud means to lift. Nirud means to stop lifting. Stop movement. So nirodha or chitta vritti nirodha, when it is, stop that. That is called yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. This is the second sutra in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Now Vedanta would say, anything that is subject to movement, you cannot stop. You cannot, because any stop is a prayatna. Is it not? Any stop is a prayatna, means an effort. And that if it is moving, and if you stop, if you remove, it will still keep moving. Anything that is moving, let's say water is moving, and you construct a dam, you try to stop it and make power out of it, maybe the hydro, whatever. Can you stop it, or what do you do then? You have to release at some point of time. Keep coming, the water is coming again and again. So what one should do is redirect the mind where it merges into the wholeness. That's why Gurudev said, don't stop the mind, redirect the mind to go to its own final destination. So the mind cannot be stopped, mind can be directed only towards the final merging point. Now I'll tell you why it's called current. It's called current, right? Why?
It's always there.
It's moving. You cannot stop it. You stop in the production, then it will be okay. Once you produce, it has to be supplied. You cannot stop it. You cannot store it. It will keep moving. A battery, you can keep it charged. All right. But power storage, when you say, it has capacity, certain capacity only it can hold. Beyond that, it cannot hold. It will keep moving. That's the nature of it. Like a river, it moves. So mind cannot be stopped. It can be only made to merge. That's why samahitayam chittavruttau sati. When the mind has been moved into merging, where? Paratmani, Brahmani, Nirvikalpe. And when it is, the mind has been thus redirected to go into the Brahman and merging in that, the Brahman has the ability to absorb the mind to itself. Like the river, when it is merges into the ocean, it loses itself. It merges into its source. It's no more as identity. It's no more has any more movement afterwards, isn't it? After it merges into the ocean, where is the movement? Until then, you cannot stop it. So similarly here, when paratmani brahmani nirvikalpe samahitayam sati, in the merging of the mind in the supreme self paratmani, then nadrishyate kaschit ayam vikalpa. Then thereafter the world is not seen. The world cannot be seen. So long as the mind is in movement, you can see the world and its all manifestations. When that mind, it is merged into the Supreme Brahman, then there are, like in the top of the sleep, where you are experiencing the world all right now, When do you stop experiencing the world? When the mind is no more available, it is merged into certain state of unconscious, ignorant, Anandamaya kosha. There also, it is present, distinctly present, but not known. It is not merged, so to say. It is inoperative, in unknown presence is there. It is there, but not known to be there. It has not disappeared into that. That's why when next day morning it just comes back again. Hey, I'm here. So now when the world is no more in the samadhi avastha, when no more the world is perceived, na drishyate kaschit ayam vikalpaha. Ayam vikalpaha means all the vikalpa, the various modifications. What is vikalpa? It's beautifully explained. Shabda jnana anupadi vastu shunyah vikalpa. Shabda jnana anupadi. What is vikalpa? Ayam vikalpa prajalpa matraha yataha ismat parishishyate. It's Gurudev writes it beautifully. We'll see that. If sound is not there or name is not there and the form is not there, only sound is there. Let us put it this way around. When the object is not there, only the sound, as he writes here in this portion, while dreaming, a man shouts in his dream out of fear, oh, save me, please save me. But those who are sitting in the room have no fear at all. They all say, save you from what? You save yourself. So a person who is dreaming and seeing objects or maybe seeing a tiger or whatever, and he's running and he's shouting in the dream, shouting very well that, oh, please save me. Obviously, when he's shouting, others hear outside him who are not dreaming, who are not a part of the dream. Save you from what? You are lying down on the bed. Now, his idea of save me will have any relevance to the people who are outside? What do they see? Save me from the tiger. Where? Tiger word is there. Object is not there. Is it not? Sound is there. Object is not there. For whom? Those who are outside. Those who are, the person who is inside the dream or when experience the dream, that sound is true, which is relevant to the object that is seeing. Tiger is seeing, therefore he is shouting. But the one who is outside him, sound he hears, but object is not there. In the same way, reverse. A person who has woken up from samadhi, for them the world is there. For others the world is there. For him it is only a sound. Vikaro namade. That's what it says. What do you call it? What is this word? What is this word? Saptajalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam. Shabdajalam. It's a only net of words. Maharanyam, the huge forest of words. Chitta brahmana karanam. It's only causing so much of trouble to our mind. So for him, that's why he says, what remains finally? Yataha parishishyate. What is parishishyate? What remains? Prajalpa matraha. Prattling alone remains. What prattling? Only shabdam. Na drishyate kaschit. He doesn't see anything anymore. So therefore it is said, if for you the cry then is a mere meaningless sound. Okay? See, sometimes when you are thus shouting in your dream, you wake up and you hear yourself crying out. Then you stop. Why? For you, the cry then is a mere meaningless sound. Similarly, the pluralistic phenomenal world will not be experienced in the plane of pure consciousness. All talk is a prattle of an ignorant man, ignorant of his true divine spiritual nature. All that was said till then, including Vedanta, becomes a mad twaddle to cure the madness of others. To such a person, Vedanta, Upadesha, or Vedanta study and Swadhyaya, etc., to the one who has woken up, he has absolutely no interest on that. Why? This is necessary for the people who has not yet woken up. For them, all this Adhyaropa, Apavada, Nagiti, this, that, Brahmasutta, Tatvamasi, and all this thing. When Ramana Maharshi was asked this question, what books you read? What is there to read? What is there to read? All the scholars around them, very well read scholars, they all came to him only to know, upon realization, there is nothing more to read. Maunavyakya prakatita para brahma tattvam. They want only the what do you call, um, assurance that what they have come to understand out of Vedanta Vichara is the same what he has experienced. Is this what it is? They want to ask this question to him. Is that what it is? Is this the way it is to be understood or I realized? Ramana Maharshi smiled and said, if your understanding is correct, if you are done the proper deliberation, what you're saying is correct. But he's the only person who can say yes or no, right? Who else can say? For him, everything else that is read and deliberated and debated, prajalpamatram, it's just words and words and words and words and words. So, this is Bhagavan, Shankaracharya, daringly he puts that there. Is it not earlier also he has said that? For the person who is studied and realized, Shastra is a waste. For those who does not want to wake up and realize, Shastra is a waste. One who does not want to eat the food, food is a waste. You keep in front of him, he says, I'm full. I don't need it anymore. And the person who does not want to eat at all, well, then also it's a waste. So similarly, Shastra is useful to whom? One who has not yet realized, wanting to realize. To them, yes. So here also he said, Prajalpamatraha. Prajalpamatraha parishishyate yataha. Only the sound remains. No further. So it means when he hears a sound about the world and worldly talks, no vritti arises in his mind. No thought comes to your mind, his mind. And that way he says, Summa Sumnero. What is that in Telugu? Is it? क्या है इस तेलुगु में? चुप रहो. हिंदी में चुप रहो. Telugu? Reddy garu? You told me last time. Huh? I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, తెలుగు
మాట్లాడదు బేడ.
మాట్లాడొద్దు
మాట్లాడొద్దు. మాట్లాడొద్దు బేడ. సుಮ್ಮనేరు మాట్లాడదు బేడ. Anything that you say has no relevance to that person. His mind, he is not creating any vritti about what you say. Not that he is not alert or vigilant or deaf and dumb. No. No thought arises. For him, it doesn't exist. So what do? You say anything. It's like that of the person who's shouting from the dream. Oh my God, that tiger. Where is the tiger? He doesn't see it. What you're seeing is, if somebody looks at the rope and says, "Oh my God, the snake," man, you will see only the rope there. So how much ever you try to convince him there is a snake, he will not see it. There is only rope there. As much as for him, the rope doesn't exist, only the snake exists, right? So he is also Advaitin, we are also, as I told you, even an ignorant person is Advaitin only. What? I cannot see anything other than the snake there. For a person who is seeing the snake, it is Advaita for him. There is nothing but only rope there. Both are Advaitin. But problem is, what are you seeing? For a man of the world knows is real, then it's Advaitam only. Other than the matter, there is nothing else. For even an atheist who doesn't believe in existence of Brahman or God, what does he say? World alone is true. Advaitam. A person who doesn't see nothing but Brahman is also Advaitam. In between only Dvaita comes. Dvaita is in between. You see the world also and God also. With the problem there. Kaun hai real? Which is real now? Is the world real or that God is real? One side he will say world is real. That is an atheist. Other side Vedanta will say that God is real, nothing else. In between somebody, both you seeing both. And get confused. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om.